This video will give you an introduction to plotting two-dimensional functions in Maple. Suppose we have the function y equals x squared. We can graph this as follows. Plot, parentheses, x squared, parentheses, enter. Be sure not to type any spaces into your command line or it may not execute properly. Here, we've been given the graph of y equals x squared, and Maple has chosen the viewing window for us. It has set automatically the x-axis to go from -10 to +10 and the y-axis to go from 0 to 100. But we can also set the x and y-axis to go between specified values. Suppose we want to graph y equals x squared on the interval where x goes between -3 and +6. To do this, in our command line, after the function, we type a comma, x equals, followed by -3, 2 periods, and +6. This will give us the graph on the window where the x-axis goes from -3 to +6, and the y-axis has been auto-format by Maple to fit precisely with this x range. We can also set the y-axis in the same way. Say we want the y-axis to go only from -2 to +2. After the x range in our line, we can add a comma and type y equals -2, 2 periods, +2, and the graph with that y range will be displayed. We can also graph multiple functions together. Suppose we want to graph the functions x cubed and e to the x together in one picture. We can type plot, open a parentheses. To plot two functions together, we need to enclose them in square brackets. So we open a square brackets, type in our first function, x cubed, and then our second function, e to the x. Note that the e on the keyboard does not translate in Maple to the exponential function, so do not enter the e function by typing the keyboard e. From the expression tab, select the e template and type in your desired exponent over the green A. Once you have your functions entered, close the brackets, close the parentheses, and hit enter. And Maple will display both the graphs for x cubed and e to the x together in different colors. Again, you can set the x and y axis to be between any range you want by adding a comma after your function or functions. Note that the comma comes after the square brackets are closed. Say here we want to take the x-axis from 0 to 5. We can type x equals 0, period, 5, and hit enter, and that graph is produced. We could also restrict the y-axis by adding a comma, y equals, and then whatever range we want for the y. Say we want it to go from 0 to 50. I hope that this video has helped you get started with graphing simple 2D functions in Maple. Please see our other video tutorials to learn more about additional types of graphs that you can produce in Maple.